What's up, guys? So now that it is June of 2025, we're pretty much at the end of the snowboarding season here in Colorado, and I wanted to make this video to kind of give you guys an update and recap on my first ever season of snowboarding. So we're going to go over the last time I went snowboarding, which was actually quite a while ago. It was probably around the end of February, beginning of March. I'm going to walk you through basically what I was doing in the video, what I learned, and then kind of just talk about the whole season and how I progressed from that first video that you guys saw, which was not good at all, to where we are today. So without further ado, let's hop in and check it out. So here's the first clip on the mountain. We're at a ski resort that is a little west of the Denver area here in Colorado, and basically the first things that I wanted to try to learn and get better at were going straight, pointing straight down the mountain rather than riding down with my board perpendicular, and also my edge turning. These were two things that a lot of people noted in my first couple of videos that, you know, it was pretty obvious how much I sucked because of these. So I really wanted to practice these a lot, and I've been working on them quite a bit, watching a lot of videos and going on a few previous sessions to mountains that I didn't film. So definitely getting a lot better than the first video. Hopefully you can see that. I'll even throw up a comparison on the screen of my first video compared to this one right now. So basically, a few things that I kind of learned through the sessions of riding on my own is that, number one, the best advice is to kind of lean forward a little bit when you're going down the mountain and put most of your weight on your front foot. A lot of beginners, myself included, put a lot of weight on the back foot, and that was actually a mistake because when you have it all on your back foot, it makes the board a lot more unstable and a lot easier to catch an edge, because when you're hitting the snow and you're going over those little variations in bump on the terrain, if your weight is not forward, it causes the board to shift a little bit more in directions you don't want and can cause you to fall a lot, which you guys clearly saw in the first couple of videos. And then also using your shoulders along with your front foot to kind of steer the board in the directions you want to go, rather than just swiping the board and going perpendicular down the hill. And that's kind of the basis of riding on edges from what I can kind of gather from my riding. So I was doing that quite a bit and just kind of using that front foot as much as I could to kind of like literally physically push against my snowboard bindings to get it to turn the ways I want. In addition to that, practicing leaning from side to side properly and all of that. And I think honestly, if you go back and see the previous video, I've improved quite a bit. So I'm pretty happy with myself, considering this is maybe my, what, 7th or 8th time on a little snowboard kind of adventure. So pretty happy with those results. So as we're going down the hill, you'll notice I hit a little jump and I didn't fall, so that's an improvement over the last time. But I will say that, you know, not everything went completely smoothly. There were definitely a couple falls. See, man, the one time I'm trying to like extra turn with my feet, I freaking eat it, dude. Now, most of these falls had to do with me either distributing my weight incorrectly, messing up a turn, or just clipping an edge because I wasn't paying close enough attention and I wasn't ready to disconnect my brain yet from the task. Anyways, let's move on. So the next tricky section that we hit was the woods. Now, a lot of you guys who snowboard probably like the woods, and count me as one of them, because the woods are really cool areas in ski resorts. You kind of get to go off the main paths and into little windy paths that people have kind of created over time from just going in them. And the woods are really fun. The only thing about the woods is they can be pretty hard when you have to do turns on a snowboard, and they're really sharp back and forth turns because you have to switch from heel side to toe side constantly and constantly get your weight shifted in the right spots, all at the same time remembering to keep your weight on that front foot and keep it going forward. So it's a lot going on, and for me, when I first started, I was absolutely terrible at this and falling a lot. Moving to this session, there were definitely moments where I was really terrible and falling a lot, but there were also plenty of moments where I was doing surprisingly well and being able to shift back and forth pretty well. So I was pretty pleased about that, and you'll just kind of notice throughout this that I'm doing a lot better than I did before, just switching back and forth pretty quickly. Oh, I saw that one coming. And honestly, I will say that I got a comment a while ago, somebody basically saying once you kind of figure out how to switch from heel to toe and ride comfortably on both sides, like you kind of unlock snowboarding. And I would honestly completely agree with that, just because of the fact that now that you can chain turns from both directions together, you really can go anywhere on the mountain, you know. You can easily turn left or right, you can do more windy stuff, you can try moguls if you want. It opens up a lot, and it's a lot more fun and enjoyable when you're not constantly falling every 2 seconds. So even though, yes, we fell quite a bit, just being able to go for stretches of time where you're comfortable riding is a game changer in just the enjoyment of the sport. Now, one thing you may have noticed is that in these videos, I got some new gear on. All my previous snowboard videos, I got that bright yellow jacket on, I got those like bluish, grayish snow pants. Well, this time, we was rocking the all blue. And hang on one sec. I think you guys deserve for a little outfit try on. So give me one sec here and let's pop this on. Alright, so yeah, here's the new snowboard outfit. It's very bright and very blue, very comfortable and very nice. And this snowboard suit actually was sent to me by a snowboard company called No Bad Day. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly. It'll be on the screen though. And I honestly highly recommend it. This is the perfect snowsuit for me personally, because as somebody who likes to film my stuff, I always struggled on where to put my tripod. This, let me show you. So here's my 360 camera and my tripod. The awesome thing with this is that I can actually take these and pop them right in this big main pocket right here on my jacket, which is awesome. My other jacket didn't have that, and I love the style of snowboard jacket that has this front pocket, and it's kind of more of like a hoodie style. So I love that main pocket. It's also got a bunch of side pockets, and it's got a bunch of vent things that literally go all the way down. You can open up the whole thing like that if you want, so you never really overheat with this jacket. And it's just super comfortable and very visible on the mountain, which is great for when I'm snowboarding with my girlfriend and she's got to be able to spot me in the distance, or for anybody to be able to see me. It's very visible. I definitely recommend. They also sent me this pretty sick baseball cap, so if you're looking for a new baseball cap, I have worn this so much that it's honestly kind of gross now, and I really should wash it again. And the last thing they sent me that I used in the video are these mittens right here. And these mittens are sick and they are perfect for filming. So if you're looking for new mittens for filming especially, highly recommend these, because not only are they warm, comfy, and waterproof, but they got a zipper on here that allows you to fold the mitten thing up, and then you can get little fingers. So now I can film with my camera, be able to touch the screen and stuff with the glove fingers, and then once I got everything situated, I just pop them back in the glove, zip it shut, and we're good to go. It's also got a pocket here if you want to store little goodies like a credit card or your ski pass, and they're just really comfortable. They also fit the wrist guards that I wear under my gloves. So highly recommend. Shout out No Bad Day, Nobody, whatever it is, for sending me all the sick gear. I didn't even talk about the pants, but they kind of got like the cargo pockets on the bottom. So again, perfect for storing camera batteries, snacks, water, whatever. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to pick some gear up for yourself. All right, so the next part of the day, we went to the park section of the ski resort. And let's roll the first clip. I didn't have the 360 cam. This is going to be for my helmet, but I just want to show you some of the jumps that I did. So yeah, roll the clip. Alright, so we're going to try out this terrain park, but I am not using my 360 cam right now because I don't want to fall and accidentally break it. Tire. This thing is huge. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Okay. Oh my god. Wow. So now that you've seen that, you got a little taste of what I've been doing. Again, nothing crazy. There's a lot of issues, but we're going to point them out even more in this next clip when we run it back for a second time, this time with the 360 camera. So as you can see here, I'm hitting a few of the jumps. We're doing pretty good. Obviously, I'm kind of chickening out with the speed. I really needed some more speed. But I do want to say that two things I noticed from watching back these clips is that, number one, I did not have my center of gravity very balanced. I was still very unstable and not very confident in my riding abilities, so that obviously shows. And then the main thing is that while I thought I was jumping, my knees were not bent nearly enough for those jumps. Like, I really got to crouch down low and spring up and just flow with those jumps. The next time I go snowboarding, probably in the fall, is I'm going to really focus on bending my knees more and getting those jumps more perfected. You'll also notice I rode past a bunch of really cool obstacles involving different rails and bars and stuff like that. I didn't hit any of those because I was not confident, but now that I'm able to do a lot of board slides on a skateboard at the skate park, I think I'm finally getting ready to probably try that next season for snowboarding, hitting some more rails and stuff. So definitely look out for that. I'm excited, and it should really level up my game going into year 2 as I practice board slides in skateboarding, and then as I get more comfortable on the snowboard. Alright, so finally, after we hit the terrain park, well, Lindsay decided to take us down a really sheer cliff section, and what the heck is this place? I didn't do so well. Like, it doesn't show it on the video, but this thing was like super vertical. Once we got through that, it was pretty smooth sailing, just a lot more practice on riding those edges and stuff. And I will say that one thing that's kind of helped me when I'm trying to ride edges better is this technique where in my head I imagine that my feet are like this, and then I kind of curve them a little. I don't know the best way to demonstrate this in the video, but I kind of like push them towards me so that the board in my head, it kind of like bows rather than stays flat. So if this is the bottom of the snowboard, I imagine pulling my feet on an edge so that it's kind of bowed in more of an arc. And I think it does actually do that slightly, so that when you're catching the edge, that bow can kind of like follow that arc shape and turn you in that direction. I don't know how much it actually affects in real life, or if in my head it's more accentuated, but I think it does help me kind of get into that edge hook a little more, whether I'm doing it on heels or toes. And then another thing I noticed while watching the footage back was that I was kind of struggling to stay on toe side, and I kept drifting more to the heel side. And I think the reason is because these particular runs, I was carrying the camera, and it kind of locks my shoulder in place. So it's hard to get my shoulder to guide me back onto that toe side when I'm holding the stick. So I think in the future I'll kind of keep that in mind and try to force my shoulder to move even with the stick, because obviously 360 cam, it tracks me any direction. I don't have to have it held exactly in one position. And then also just practicing without the camera a lot as well, which I had done during this trip as well as other trips, and I didn't notice as much of that heel side tendency. Besides that, that was pretty much all of this run, and I will say honestly, just kind of getting better, and the more times I've gone, I've really improved a lot for my first year as a 23-year-old trying snowboarding for the first time. And I think just continuing to practice, getting into those edges on the turns, continuing to practice keeping the board straight as we're going down the hill, and then getting more comfortable on little jumps, and hopefully hitting the terrain park is really going to level my game up moving into year 2. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed learning about my journey of snowboarding in year 1, and I hope it inspires you to start if you are a new snowboarder as well. I'm 23, I'm by no means a young child, so I just really to emphasize that for the people that think that they're too old to start for the first time, you're not too old. Make sure you're wearing the proper gear, and do expect to fall a lot your first couple sessions. If you need to wear like some sort of pad on your butt, or if you need to wear like knee pads under your snow pants, do what you need to do. Take it slow, take it easy, go at your own pace, but you can do it. It's never too late to start, and I hope that I showed you how much you can improve in just a couple times going to a ski resort or whatever. With all that out of the way, I don't got much more for y'all. I just want to say that, you know, if you want to see more videos of snowboarding or longboarding or skateboarding, hit the subscribe button because we got a lot coming. I'm actually planning on doing a skateboard review of the Andy Anderson skateboard deck, which I've been riding for a while now, which, spoiler alert, it's really good. and I want to do a skateboard progress update as well as some other stuff, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.